This is Groundeffected, and my name is your dad. Today I'm going to be showing you how to clean your prints. That's because it's a very important thing. If you want more of this kind of technical information, perhaps leave some words in the comment section down below so that we know that that's what you want. Otherwise we don't know what you want and then no one knows anything. This is a 3D printer, and it is a resin type of 3D printer, which means that there is a whole lot of cleanup that comes with this kind of printer because it is printed in this gooey liquid resin. Now you may wonder, why do I sound weird and have this funny thing on my face? That is because apparently this stuff will kill you if you breathe it in. But probably won't, but it might. I don't know, and so it's probably better to wear the mask. I'm only telling you this because you should follow instructions, and that's why. Now when the printer is finished printing, your printer is going to raise the print up out of the bed and you need to take it off of here. Usually this requires removing the build plate. Luckily with this printer it has this nice little thing that stops the resin from falling out onto your floor. Not all printers are going to have that, and you don't want the resin on your floor because it's horrible to clean up. Now when this is printed, it is going to have a whole load of loose resin on it, and this resin needs to be washed off, and usually with standard resins you can only do that with some kind of a, I don't know what the word is again. So these things come out of the printer and they are covered in resin. The resin needs to be washed off, and it can only be washed off using a solution that washes it off, and that is not water unless it's water washable, but water washable. Now to remove your prints off of the printer you need a very small amount of things. Usually your printer will come with one of these spatulas, and if not, just find your nearest painter and steal it out of his toolbox. You also need something to put your prints in. This is not important because you could do this on your counter, but your wife will definitely kick your ass if you do that. So I use this little tray and I put some tissue in the bottom to absorb all the excess resin, which is definitely going to be there. Also, you need something to dip them into after. This is the most rudimentary and simplest way of doing it. This is not simple, and it's very expensive, and there are things in between. So a washing station or just a bucket will do. A bucket is good enough, and let me show you how to use it. So the way that I take these off is that you need something to press this down on, because if you don't, it's going to be really hard to scrape and you might cut yourself with this sharp scraper. So I put this down into my little bucket thingy, and then I edge this thing just underneath it and I push it like that. That will then lift it up. The minute that's lifted, you can then go along the edges and lift everything off. It's just that simple, really. It's just that, why is that piece being like that? Just this one doesn't want to come off. Okay, so if sometimes they might fight you, that little piece for whatever reason is fighting me, so I'm just going to go around the other edge here, and once we get around to it, it'll eventually come off. Like this piece here is just printed really close. Like look, I can get underneath it. That's why it'll help it come off. Do you see these supports didn't actually print fully from the base? Well, they snapped off when I broke them now, but there's like just a little ramp here, so I can't get this under. So if I just lift it underneath like that, then I'll be able to get, see, now it's under. Sometimes it's a little bit tighter to the build plate. It depends, actually. To be fair, that could be that my build plate isn't perfectly level, and if it's not perfectly level, then it's possible that little section is a bit thinner than the rest of the raft, which makes it obviously harder. Yeah, I definitely think my build plate is not level, which it just dispels the whole myth that your build plate has to be level in order for you to print. It doesn't, because all you do is just make sure you increase the lower exposures, and then it'll stick like cement anyway. Right, so we get them all off. Now the most important thing after getting your prints off is to make sure that this build plate is clear. So I use my scraper to scrape everything off. Once it is fully clear, I know I can put that back in the machine and use it again. Some people will say you need to wash this. The only time you need to wash this is if you're changing the resin to a completely different type, or if it's a clear resin and you've been using obviously a colored resin. So normally I don't wash this. This can go straight back into the machine and it is ready for round 2. In fact, I have a card ready to put in here for round 2. Now you've got your prints in your little bucket, and you obviously need to do something with them. A lot of people will take these immediately and put them in the wash station. The problem with doing that is that all these tiny little support arms and little braces and everything are like, it's got a large surface area for the resin to stick to, and because of that, it's going to ruin your alcohol a lot quicker. And this stuff is not that cheap, so you want to try and preserve that for as long as possible. Let me show you how I deal with that quickly. Most importantly, I'm just going to take these parts off and slowly but surely start removing the supports. This might be difficult depending on how this was supported. This was pre-supported by Zez, and it's supported in a very similar way to what I support. If these supports are a lot stronger, or you are overexposed in your printer, they're going to be stuck a lot harder, and you're going to need heat to get them off. People in the past have suggested using heat by putting in a bowl of hot water. The problem with that is that means I have to make sure that all the resin is off everything first, and that means that I'm going to be putting this into my alcohol and ruining my alcohol a lot quicker than if I were to take all the supports off first. You cannot just throw this away in the bin straight away. You will need to deal with this, and in order to deal with this, I'll show you that in a minute. Let's just get all the supports off. Oops, don't tell my wife. I want to just quickly show you something that's actually really a good piece of information for you to pulling off supports. If you're taking off the supports and you try to pull, it's not going to go anywhere. But if you take the support and twist this product, if you twist it, by twisting it, it breaks the supports a lot easier. So if I twist the item, it'll come out super easy. So if you see people pulling them off really easy, it's usually because they're using a twisting motion. By pulling, it's not as easy. You can still do it, but it's not as easy as if you actually just twist the thing. I literally just twist them inside of the bit. It's like breaking a chicken leg, and then once it's broken out, it'll come out super easy. Just a little twist. Like, this is really tight. If I pull on it, it's going to either break something or not come off. But if I grab the two parts like this and twist them, it literally comes off so easy. That's the easiest way to get your parts off. Don't pull, don't try to do this angle, just literally twist the parts. And if you twist it, it'll pull off all the bits so much easier and save you a whole lot of tears and heartache. You can totally just use a normal Tupperware container for this. This container though has this little basket in it, which is really helpful because obviously you can then rest this here and allow it to leak all of the stuff out of it. And also I can use it to lower stuff into the alcohol. If you don't have this, it's not the end of the world. You can literally just put them in that water and shake the thing around if you need to. Or another way of doing it is taking the part, sticking it in, and then just shaking the part like that inside of it. By doing this, you're agitating it, and it's getting all of the little bits of alcohol into all the little corners and pieces, and this is going to help to pull out all the stuff. It is very important when you put them in to make sure that you get the alcohol onto the inside. That one didn't do it as nicely, but you should see bubbles coming out. That means you've got the alcohol all the way inside. And a very good way of cleaning it properly is to make sure you dunk it, pour it out, dunk it, pour it out, dunk it, pour it out. Right, so we've now got the part soaking, and usually what I like to do is I like to kind of dip it in and out a couple of times, and then I'll leave this to soak depending on the resin you use. I use Sunlu standard with an ABS mix, and I will leave that to soak for a good hour or two at least. Sometimes I'll leave it overnight, but I'll be honest, it can soften your material and then you're gonna have a bad time. So don't leave it for too long and keep an eye on it. But now, because we've taken the supports off in order to save ourselves from having to clean even more resin than necessary, we have a problem. And the problem is we can't just get rid of this. So what we use is a UV torch. Take this UV torch and I will light up all these parts using the UV torch that you can't see because it's UV and it's not the greatest, brightest thing in the world. But I will cure all these parts first. Once this entire tray is fully cured, I can then throw that into the dustbin. One more thing that's very helpful for this, you've got your tray for removing things, but you need stuff to dry stuff on because you don't want to be drying your nice clean parts into your resin that's all in your tray. So I buy these trays that are really cheap. It's a baking tray, and I put some paper towel on the inside of it. And then when you take your parts out, what you're going to want to do is make sure that they have fully drained, and then you place them on here. There is alcohol all over this part. And if I had to take this and chuck it straight into the curing machine right now, this will become white. These bits will be white all on the edges. If you are having white bits on your print after you've cured it, it's because you didn't let it dry long enough. The other thing is you want to make sure that they are fully cleaned before you even attempt to cure it. Because an alcohol mix with a little bit of the resin, when you try to cure that, it doesn't cure fully and it might still remain a little bit tacky and sticky and gooey. And you don't want gooey and sticky, trust me. Now, usually what I would do is I wouldn't take these straight away out. What I would do is individually take one part at a time, dip them in, make sure that it is full, empty it out, dip it in, empty it out, dip it in, empty it out. And with my gloves, I can feel that this print is no longer sticky. It's not slimy, it feels squeaky. When your print feels squeaky in your hand, that's how you know that you have cleaned it enough. Then I can put this aside to dry, and it will take a couple of hours to dry. Particularly inside, it might even take a day or so. I'm getting a stitch from fucking breathing. Ow! Okay, now making sure things are dry is the most important thing, and that's another place that your wife's hairdryer can help you. You can use this to blow into the end, and if you watch, a load of alcohol will come out of it. I mean, you saw one drip, didn't you? There you go, more came out. Let's try another one. Right, so I've taken off the mask now because we're no longer dealing with so much open resin and stuff. But I want to show you that this has all been cleaned up and it is technically ready to go. However, this is a little bit of resin that's still on the surface of this. So this would tell me that I definitely need to rinse this a whole lot more. And the reason that that's still on there is because I only washed this really quickly before I went home, but it really does need to be soaked a whole lot longer. Really, I like to soak things for at least a day. So it's been Christmas, which means that I haven't been here all day, and so it hasn't had enough time in that little bath. I'll put all these parts back in the bath and I'll let them soak for the rest of the day, and when it's done I'll take them out later and they will be then ready to dry fully for at least another day, and after the drying I can then put them into my curing machine and cure them. Now when it comes to curing, that is a whole nother ball game. It's not really that complicated, but that could be an entire another video, and if you're interested in that or want some more technical aspects, well then obviously leave some comments down below to let us know that that's what you want to see more of. Of course, I want to say a massive thank you to everybody who watched this video, and hopefully this helps you in your printing escapades in the future. Very importantly is that we need to thank the patrons, which is going down here or here, whichever side I put it on. And now it's time for me to tell you the most important thing, and that is, if you don't like it, I don't care, and you can f*** off. I just want to quickly add this in a little bit of information in here. You can tell that your parts are ready to go because they have this like super nice finish to them. They look like satiny, they look nice and clean, they just have that look to them. There is not really much of a way for me to explain how that looks, but they just have this look. I can see there is a couple of little shiny spots here, but these parts are still fully drying. They're not completely dried actually, but you can literally see they just have this really nice look to them. That's how you know that they are cleaned properly. They're not shiny, they're like satin.